Hi friends, it's me, Katie. I'm here in Oregon, so I'm streaming my class from Oregon from a different space today. So it'll be, Penny, come here, and this is my dog Penny, she'll probably get in the way a lot. It'll be about a 65-minute deep power practice, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So start in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. I'm sitting in what's called easy pose, so just one ankle in front of the other. You can cross your ankles, you can kneel, you can sit up on a block or a blanket or a pillow. And then if you have any wiggles you kind of want to get out, maybe rolling your head from side to side, rolling your shoulders out, or even twisting a couple times, go for it. And eventually just find stillness in your seat. So sit up nice and tall with length in your spine and the back of your neck. Let your arms either rest just down by your sides, hands in your lap, hands to your heart, or one hand to your heart space, one hand to your low belly. Close your eyes and give yourself a moment to just become a little more present and a little more aware of this moment and what's going on around you and within you. So notice sounds, smells, sensations. If you're in a place with a lot of noise or somewhere that happens to be pretty chaotic, see if you can just notice all of that without reacting, maybe without even labeling, just simply taking it all in and experiencing it all. And then start to bring more awareness and attention to your breath. Start to breathe bigger, breathe deeper. And then next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. Hold at the very, very top. Sip in even a little bit more air. And then big open mouth sigh to let it go, to release. And again, just like that, inhale, fill up. Hold at the top, and see if you can hold your breath but relax and soften around it. So think of softening through your outer shell, and then big huge sigh out your mouth, let it go. And again, just like that, inhale, fill up, hold in fullness, and any stress, anxiety, any heaviness you're holding, just big audible sigh, breathe it out, let it go, release it. And then seal your lips gently and just start to cultivate Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. And take a moment just to connect with this breath. Breathe all the way down into your low belly, your low back. Take your exhales all the way to emptiness. So just simply sitting and breathing with awareness. Whatever's going on around you, just let it go, just observe it. And then absolutely no rush, but as you feel ready to move, come forward to your hands and your knees and start to move through either some cat-cows or maybe take some hip circles. If you want to sit back into a child's pose, come all the way forward towards cobra or up dog. That's perfect as well. So take a moment to just explore your body. Notice what feels good. Notice what feels comfortable, what feels open. And then maybe what might feel a little tighter or stiff or sore. See if you can start to notice more the mobility through your spine, through each little individual vertebra. And the mobility through your shoulders. Even the mobility in your neck. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. And just allow yourself to go inward. So let go of how you look, focus on how you feel, and once you feel complete with this movement, I'd say give yourself about 3 more breaths or so. Transition back into our first downward facing dog of practice. So absolutely no rush, just get there in your own time. And then once you are in down dog, give yourself a moment to settle in. So when I say settle in, just explore your down dog. Maybe pedal out your heels or shift your weight from side to side. Might even feel good to come forward to plank and press back to down dog a couple times. You can stretch one leg up and then the other. So just what feels good to you, and then how can you create more space and more length in this posture? If the backs of your legs feel really stiff, maybe you keep a deeper bend in your knees and just focus on lifting your sit bones up towards the sky, and you'll get that nice stretch down the backs of your legs, even with your knees bent. And then keep reconnecting to your breath. So big, expansive, spacious inhalations, and long, strong, steady exhalations all the way to emptiness. Take a couple more rounds here. Just notice whatever there is to notice, feel whatever there is to feel. Take one more great big huge inhale, and then exhale, gaze forward, empty out first, step, tiptoe, or hop, top of your yoga mat, forward fold. Bring your feet wider than hips width distance apart, so maybe even bring your feet all the way out to the width of your mat, all 10 toes face forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, and then pause here, bring your left fingertips to the ground underneath your chest, and reach your right arm to the sky for a twist. Try to keep both legs straight if possible, and then your spine is really nice and long. Stay here, or option to wrap your right arm behind your back, option to bring your left hand to the outside of your right ankle, and just gently use that as leverage to twist further. So press your hand into your ankle back into your hand, and work your twist. Take about 2 more breaths wherever you're at. End of your next exhale, slowly unwind and just switch to the other side. So right fingertips on the ground or right hand to a block, left arm to the sky. Spine long, legs long. Think of reaching your sit bones back and the crown of your head forward. Stay here or take it a little bit deeper. Left arm can wrap behind you, right hand grabs the outside of your left ankle. And then each time you exhale, think of twisting to your edge, of working your twist from the inside out. Take about 2 more rounds. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. End of your next exhale, slowly unwind. Inhale to a halfway lift, spinal extension. Exhale, fold, and then keep your arms and your head heavy. Roll as slowly as you can all the way up to stand. As you roll, you can start to heel toe your feet in a little bit closer. So hips width distance or big toes touch, completely up to you. And then once your head lifts up, very, very, very last, take a few rolls with your shoulders. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then eventually, roll your shoulders back and down, open your palms to face forward, and just stand tall, stand well in mountain pose. So feet root down, crown of your head lifts up. Take a big, huge inhale, breathe into every little space inside your body. Hold. And then big open mouth sigh, release. Inhale, high mountain, arms to the sky. Exhale, lead with your heart, slow dive down. So hinge at your hips, maybe you have a big bend in your knees as you dive. Try to keep your weight slightly forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. So spine parallel to the ground, top of your head reaches forward, tops of your thighs press back. Exhale, fold. And then from the press of your feet, reverse swan dive to stand. So see if you can feel your glutes engage. Pull the tops of your glutes down towards your heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, and we'll do 1 more round. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, follow your breath down. Take as much time as you would like. So see if you can take the entire length of your exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, refold, let it go. Press into your feet, engage your core, lead with your heart, rise. Inhale to stretch tall, maybe a little gaze up. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. All right, inhale, take your arms up. Pause here, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Shift your weight more into your left foot, your hips over to the left, and then pull your upper body to the right. So think of creating more space and length down your left side. See if you can keep your left shoulder plugged in. So pull the bottom tip of your left shoulder blade down on your back body. Breathe into your left ribs. Take one more round. And then next time you inhale, come back through center, switch your grip, so grab your right wrist, pull up and over to the left as you move your hips to the right, more weight in your right foot. So this should feel nice to create more space on your right side, and then see if you can breathe into that space and make it even bigger than you ever thought you could. So envision your right ribs, the space in between them. Every time you inhale, think of puffing up into that space, stretching it out. Every time you exhale, hug around midline. So see if you can find that connection to your center. Take one more big breath. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades hug towards your spine. Maybe start to reach your hands back. Maybe start to reach your knuckles down as your heart lifts. So find your own personal edge. And then be there and breathe into it. One more great big huge inhale. Hands stay clasped. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Forward fold with your hands clasped. Stay here for about 2 or 3 breaths. So get to a place where you can relax your neck completely and let your head be heavy. If it's helpful, bend your knees a little bit more. And then try to keep your weight slightly forward and see if you can lift up through your sit bones, through your butt. See if you can lift your knuckles higher, possibly even start to reach them forward towards the front of your mat. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your low back. Gently release your clasp. Inhale to a halfway lift. So I like to bring my fingertips to my shins. Exhale, fold, and then plant your hands, step back to plank position. So top of a push-up, shoulders over your wrists, hips level with your shoulders. And since Penny is in my way, I'm going to have us do something different today. So from your plank, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, lift your hips, press them back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank position again. And exhale takes you back, downward facing dog. We'll add a push-up this time. So inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower halfway, strong arms, strong belly. Inhale, press back up. And exhale, downward facing dog, stretch it out. Do that again. Inhale, come forward, a high plank position. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press back up. So move with your breath, slow and controlled. Exhale, down dog. This time you can choose to stay in your down dog or go forward and take your vinyasa at your own time and pace. So you can add a couple push-ups if you want. You can stay a little bit longer in your back bend. Meet back in down dog in your own time. All right, from your dog pose, next time you breathe in, take your right leg to the sky. For this one, hips stay square, so inner thighs face each other. Really press up and back with your right foot. Press forward and down through your hands. Think of lifting from your center. So if there was a rope attached to your belly button, it's pulling straight up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So curl in and round your spine. Stay here as you breathe in. Exhale very softly. Set your right foot at the top of your yoga mat. Bring your back knee down gently. So if you need extra cushion, you can fold over the side of your mat. Or if you're at home, you can use a blanket or a pillow. Hands come up to your front thigh. So walk your front foot forward just a little bit so your ankle is slightly out in front of your knee. And then start to lean forward through your lower body like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel. But then at the same time, drive your right heel down and imagine you're trying to pull it back and up towards your right butt cheek. So your legs are still working, there's still energy moving through them. Choose to stay here or arms to the sky, reach up. And then choose to stay here. Final option, right forearm across your low back. Think of pressing your forearm in and then pulling it down. So you're trying to lengthen your low back, lift through your sternum, start to create a little back bend, gaze up. Keep your low abdominals strong and keep energetically pulling your right heel back and up towards your right butt cheek. Breathe down into your belly about 2 or 3 more rounds. So allow yourself to be in sensation. See if you can let your hips move a little bit closer to the earth. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Take one more full round. If you have your right arm behind you, inhale, right arm reaches up. And exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your yoga mat. You can turn your right toes slightly out to the right if you want. Let your hips keep moving towards the ground, but energetically pull your right heel back, your left knee forward. Now, this may be where you stay. Otherwise, see if you can lower down to your forearms. Right forearm comes down first. So try not to just lean over and collapse to the left. In order to get that stretch in your right leg, you want to keep most of your weight moving over to the right. And then if you're familiar with cat grabs its tail and that sounds good to you right now, you're more than welcome to take it. Otherwise, stay with me and just simply breathe. So slow, steady, ujjayi breaths. Use your exhales to soften. And sometimes I like to roll onto the outer edge of my right foot and kind of start to press my right knee out to the right to get a little more hip opening. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. Notice if you shifted your weight to the left, see if you can bring it back to center or even kind of lean over onto your right forearm. So much can change just with those little teeny tiny adjustments. Take one last round. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. Rise back up to your hands and then walk your right foot back to midline so you're framing it with your hands. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up, pyramid pose. So step your back foot forward about a foot or so. I like my feet on 2 train tracks with all 10 toes facing forward. If you prefer a balance beam with your back foot on a little angle, that's fine. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, think of lifting your right sit bone up as you fold belly, ribs, then chest, move closer to your front leg. You can bring your fingertips to the ground if that's possible. Otherwise, your hands might stay on your front shin or blocks or your hips. If you want to take it a little deeper and your hands are on the ground, spin your fingers to face towards the back of your mat and start to walk your hands towards the back of your mat. Bring your forehead closer to your front shin. Take about 3 to 5 more slow, deep breaths. Keep lifting your right sit bone up and back, pulling your left hip forward and down. So as much as possible, hips stay square. Good job, you guys. And every time you exhale, really pull your belly button up towards your spine and then use that to dive a little bit deeper, fold a little bit further. Take one last round. End of your exhalation, just step your back foot to the top of your mat, forward fold. Once you've arrived, inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now, walk both feet out to the width of your mat. Turn your toes off. Come down into a low squat malasana. So, if possible, keep the weight back in your heels and try to keep your spine nice and long. Right arm to the inside of your right leg. So I'll turn towards the camera so you can see me. So right arm reaches to the right and then left arm to the sky. Press your arm into your leg back into your arm, and use that to leverage your twist. Take about 2 more deep breaths. If you want, you can wrap your left arm behind your back, or if the full bend is in your practice, go for it. End of your next exhale, switch sides. So left arm reaches to the left, press arm into leg into arm, and then right arm up to the sky. Gaze up at your right fingertips. So think of kind of twisting from your legs and from the middle of your spine. And then maybe at any time, right arm behind you, possibly the full bind, couple more breaths. End of your next exhale. Fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky. Heel toe your feet in as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. So feet are hips width distance or big toes touch. Head stacks very last, and just like we did at the very beginning, a few shoulder rolls. Eventually, shoulders back and down, palms open. So standing into Tadasana, take a great big huge inhale. See if you can grow taller with that in-breath, hold. And then exhale, big sigh, let it go. Ujjayi breath, inhale, arms to the sky. This time, pause, interlace your fingers, steeple your index, and then exhale, left hip moves to the left, dive up and over to the right. Keep squeezing your biceps towards your ears and lengthen as much as you can. Breathe into your left side body. If you want to challenge, you can get lighter on your right foot and possibly float your right foot up, reach it to the right. Take a couple more rounds and use your breath to create more space. Inhale, come back through center. And with your exhale, just switch to the other side. So up and over to the left, move your hips to the right. Find more space in your right side. Create it with your breath. Think of breathing from the lowest rib on your right side. If you want to play with your balance, maybe left foot floats up. Reach it to the left like a crescent moon shape. Take one last round, fullest expression. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, just like we did before. Hands behind your back, interlace. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades, squeeze your spine, reach back. And then this time, weight in your heels, sit back into a chair pose. So this will probably feel a little bit awkward. Try to reach your butt back. You should be able to pick up your toes, spread them apart, and then pull your navel towards your spine so your core stays strong. Lift your heart and then see if you can reach your knuckles a little bit higher. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Take one more inhale. Now listen carefully, keep everything the same. Exhale, hinge at your hips, bring your spine parallel to the ground. So you're not folding forward, crown of your head reaches forward, back of your neck is long, your knuckles are reaching up as high as possible. Now see if you can start to straighten your legs by lifting your sit bones and pressing the tops of your thighs back. So feel your quads fire, the backs of your legs stretching. Take one more big huge in-breath. Exhale, hands to low back, release your clasp and fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank, and again, take your vinyasa however you'd like. So add push-ups if you want, skip it all together if you want, substitute cat-cows, take it on your knees, give yourself an extra couple breaths in your back bend. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. All right, from dog pose, inhale your left leg to the sky. Hips square, inner thighs face each other. Left foot presses up and back. Hands press forward and down. So by pressing your hands forward and down, see if you can create more space underneath your armpits and then lengthen your side bodies more. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose. So curl in and around your spine. Stay here, take a huge inhalation. Press the earth away. Exhale, softly, left foot steps through and back knee comes down. So if you want that extra cushion, use it underneath your right knee, your back knee. Hands come up to your left thigh. Walk your front foot forward just a little bit. And then start to ease your hips forward. So think left butt cheek towards your left heel. Press your left heel down, energetically pull back and up. So you're firing up your legs with muscle energy. You're creating stability at the same time as you're creating mobility. Stay here or arms to the sky. Stay right here and breathe, or final option, left forearm across your low back. Press your forearm forward and pull down. So like you're trying to lengthen your lower spine. Lift your chest up towards your chin. Start to move your throat back. Breathe all the way down into your belly. So feel your chest, your ribs, and your belly expand with each inhale. As you exhale, see if you can allow your hips to settle closer to the earth. Take about 3 more rounds. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Take one more big inhale. If your left arm is behind you, reach it up. Exhale, hands come down to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out wide and maybe even turn your left toes off of your mat. Now keep letting your hips move towards the ground, but energetically pull your left heel back, your back knee forward, so you're still hugging towards midline. Slowly start to lower your upper body. Left side comes down first. So if you just lower to your right side, you're just collapsing. You're not really getting a great stretch in your legs. If you can keep your weight kind of moving over to the left, and you'll really feel that stretch in your left groin, your inner thigh, your outer hip. If you know cat grabs its tail, you want to take it here, go for it. If you want to roll into the outer edge of your left foot, keep your toes flexed, your ankles strong, go for it. About 3 or 4 more breaths. So in deep power, we hold the poses a little bit longer than is comfortable. So see if you can just sit with that discomfort, just breathe into it and soften around it. That's part of the practice. Exhale out your mouth at any time. Take one last big breath. And then rise up to your hands if you're not there already. Walk your left foot back to midline. We're going to move into our pyramid pose. So tuck your back toes under, back knee lifts, and then step your back foot in just a little bit. So either all 10 toes face forward or feet on a balance beam with a little angle in your back foot. Halfway lift, inhale. And as you lift and lengthen your spine, really think of lifting your left sit bone. Exhale to slowly fold over your front leg. So belly, ribs, then chest, and then you can even go forehead towards your shin. If you have your hands on the ground, no problem. You can spin your fingers back and start to crawl your fingers towards the back edge of your mat. Make sure you can feel your left quad, the front of your left thigh, firing. So you're not just locking out your knee and dumping into your joints. You're using the muscle in the front of your leg to safely stretch the muscle in the back of your leg. And then every time you exhale, belly button draws in and up. That's where you dive deeper, fold further. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. Let yourself be in sensation. Let yourself be in discomfort. Breathe into it. Move towards it. End of your next exhalation, just step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. This time just plant your hands and step to your plank pose. Pause here, roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot for Vashisthasana, side plank. So if you want to bring your right knee down to modify, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, outer edge of your right foot and then lift your hips as high as you can. See if you can reach your left arm forward, lengthen your left side body, just like we did when we were standing at the top of our mat doing those side body stretches. Stay here, or option to float your left leg up, and as you do so, see if you can lift your hips even higher. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Slow and steady. End of your next exhale, plank position. Now lower to your forearms, forearm plank. Walk your toes towards your elbows, dolphin pose. So try to keep your elbows no wider than shoulder width distance apart. Try to keep pressing down through the palms of your hands like you're gripping the ground with your fingertips. If you want to modify, you can interlace your fingers instead. Lift, lift, lift through your hips, through your sit bones, from your belly button. Take about 5 more rounds of breath. If you want to explore this pose in your own way, you're welcome to. So think of trying to lift your sit bones up and then press your chest back.
See if you can walk your toes in closer without letting your shoulders come forward of your elbows. Take a couple more rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you want. End of your next exhalation, set your knees on the ground. Lift back up to your hands so you're in a tabletop. And then bring your knees just a little bit wider than your hips. Thread the needle posture. So inhale, right arm reaches out to the right and all the way up to the sky. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach through as far as you can and then come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. And you can take this wherever you want to go. So there's lots of different variations. You might wrap your left arm behind your back. You might press your left fingertips into the ground, kind of use that to leverage the twist you feel in your spine. Just breathe into your back body, upper back, mid back, low back. Exhale all the way to empty. Take about 3 more rounds. Sometimes I like to explore moving my hips a little bit from side to side and just notice how that changes the stretch. And if you happen to have your left hand lifted, bring it back to the earth. And then next time you inhale, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up to the sky. Exhale, set your right hand on the ground. And find your way back, downward facing dog. Reconnect to your breath, reconnect to this moment, to what's going on inside, what's going on around you. But then no matter what is going on around you, can you find that sense of stability, that sense of steadiness from deep within? So even as things get chaotic, can you breathe slow and steady? Just follow that rhythm with your awareness. Next time you inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, peel your right hip open. So bend your right knee, open your right hip, but try not to sink over to the left. So keep your left palm rooted, your left shoulder strong, your left inner thigh hugging in towards midline. Squeeze your outer right glute and lift your right knee a little bit higher. One more big inhale. Exhale, right knee to your left elbow, hips level with your shoulders. Inhale, back up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, or tricep. If you want to grab the arm balance, go for it. Inhale, back up. And exhale, knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly, and then ever so softly, right foot steps to the top of your mat. Alrighty, this time, warrior 2 stance. So back heel pivots down, and then cartwheel your arms up, settle in. So bend into your front knee, lunge into your front leg, press into the outer edge of your back foot. Think of wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you. Next time you breathe in, reach forward, and then tip it over, side angle posture. So right elbow to the top of your right thigh. Left arm can reach straight up. Left arm can reach forward, half bind or full bind if you want to take it. Big deep breaths, heart is open. So it's like you're trying to rotate your heart towards the sky. Take about 3 more rounds. Work the pose with your breath. Keep wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you. Keep tracking your right knee towards your right pinky toe. Next time you inhale, come back to your warrior 2, and then exhale, Skandasana towards the back of your mat. So I'm going to turn my left toe slightly out, and then come all the way down. If you need to come up to your left toes, you can. Otherwise, try to keep your left heel down and your butt reaching down. Right toes face the sky.
And if possible, hands are lifted. To modify, hands can stay down. If you want to challenge, reach your arms up, interlace your fingers, steeple your index fingers. Try to press your arms back and your chest forward. At the same time, energetically pull your heels towards each other. So muscle energy running through your legs. Take about 2 or 3 more breaths. If it's too much to reach your arms up, let that go. Soften your face. And then next time you inhale, wide-legged forward fold. So fingertips on the ground, crawl them forward a little bit. They're still on the left side of your mat. Readjust your stance, so all 10 toes face forward, feet are parallel, halfway lift. And exhale to fold, to bow in. Maybe grab hold of your outer ankles or the outer edges of your feet. And try to use your breath to go deeper. So big, spacious inhales and long, strong exhales all the way to empty. Each time you exhale, belly button draws in and up. Dive deeper, fold further. Rather than tuning out, tune in, see what can happen. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands to the top of your yoga mat. Rotate your toes to face forward. And then we're gonna find a twist. So crawl your fingertips forward and float your back leg up. So think of warrior 3 with your fingertips on the ground. Hips are square. Bring your right hand to your sacrum, so right above your butt, and just make sure it's nice and level. So if you need to, lower your left hip. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Now bring your right hand to the crease in your right hip, and think of taking the skin on the inside of your hip, pushing it out, and then back. So as you do that, your upper body should start to twist to the right. Continue to work that twist. Eventually, reach your right arm to the sky. Keep squeezing your inner thighs and keep your back legs strong and powerful. Maybe gaze up at your right hand for a big challenge. Take about 2 more breaths. Now you guys, we're gonna get crazy. End of your next exhale. See if you can stay balanced on your right foot. Rise all the way up to standing staff. Left knee lifts out in front of you. And then twist now to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Right hand can come to the outside of your left knee or thigh. If you're feeling extremely crazy, grab hold of the outer edge of your foot and start to work your hand to big toe pose or your twisted hand to big toe pose. Couple more rounds. Squeeze your inner thighs, twist from your center, broaden through your collarbones. All right, stick with me. End of your next exhalation, you're gonna unwind. See if you can find a revolved lunge with your left foot at the back of your mat and your left hand on the ground. So left foot to the back of your mat, left hand on the ground, revolved lunge. Couple breaths here. If it would feel good, straighten your front leg, a variation on revolved triangle, keep twisting. And then end of your next exhalation, unwind. Step your front foot back, plank position. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale to slowly lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Take a moment, be in your back bend. And then exhale, just child's pose. So hips to your heels, forehead on your mat. Take some big deep breaths into your back body, upper back, mid back, low back. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog.
a great big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look forward, empty out first, step, tiptoe, or hop top of your yoga mat, forward fold. Once you arrive, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold. Now flatten your hands, step back to plank, and then Vashisthasana, side plank. Left hand is your base. So roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot, right arm to the sky. Lift your hips really, really high. You can bring your left knee down if you're modifying. Otherwise, find that lift by using your obliques, your left side abdominals. Maybe reach your right arm forward, maybe float your right leg up. 2 more rounds. End of your next exhale, plank or modified plank. Lower to your forearms, forearm plank. So elbows no wider than your shoulders, forearms parallel, palms press into the ground, and then press with your fingertips from your center. So like there's a string attached to your belly button, pulling up. Start to walk your toes in and lift your hips, dolphin pose. Don't let your elbows drift apart. Don't let your head touch the ground, so keep pressing the earth away. You've got about 5 breaths to go wherever you want to go in this posture. I'm just going to hold and breathe. So sometimes I think the most basic variations of the posture give you the most benefits. Just depends where you're at. So don't crank yourself into a pose just for the sake of doing it. Find what feels most beneficial to you. That comfortable level of discomfort, that challenge. Take about 2 more rounds. So meet yourself where you're at today. End of your next exhale, bring your knees down. Rise to your hands, your palms. Walk your knees out just a little wider than your hips. Thread the needle, so left arm reaches out to the left, all the way up. And then exhale, thread your left arm underneath you. Rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. And on this side, go wherever you want to go. It might be the same or might be different than the other side. Breathe. So feel your back body and your front body expand with each inhale. And then feel that contraction, that hugging in with each exhale. Okay, if you do happen to have your right hand or your right knee lifted, bring them back to the ground. Next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm, reach it up, gaze up, open up the left side of your chest. Exhale, left hand comes down, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale slowly with awareness. Peel your left hip open. Try not to shift over to your right. So right palm stays rooted. Right shoulder stays strong. Right inner thigh hugs in. Squeeze your outer left butt cheek. Lift your left knee up. Flex through your left toes. Take 1 more big in-breath. Exhale, left knee, right elbow as close as you can come. Keep your hips level with your shoulders. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Left leg to the sky. Exhale, left to left, as high as you can get on your left arm. Add the push-up or the arm balance if it's in your practice, if you feel like it. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose. So scoop out your belly, then very softly step your left foot through. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Back foot pivots down. Sorry, my dog's barking. And then rise up and settle in. So left toes face forward. Right toes face to the right. Wrap your left butt cheek underneath you. But if your right hip just shot forward, try to pull it back. And draw your low abdominals in to get out of your low back. So think of engaging your transverse, those deepest, lowest abdominals. Let your shoulders move down away from your ears. Next time you breathe in, reach forward. And then exhale, Tip it over, so left elbow to left thigh, right arm to the sky. Stay here or work with a variation of your choice. Right arm might wrap behind you, left hand might come down to the ground or a block. Full bind if it's in your practice. Try not to crank yourself into the full bind if it doesn't feel like you're getting as much out of it. So for me, I feel like a lot of times I get more out of staying in a more basic version of the posture. Wrap your left butt cheek underneath and then track your left knee open towards your pinky toe. Keep pressing into the inner and outer edge of your back foot. Take about 2 more breaths. See if you can lunge a little bit deeper next time you inhale. Back to warrior 2. Exhale, Skandasana. So right toes turn out slightly and then bend your back knee. Come onto the back of your left heel. I kind of have to shift around in my legs. Kind of. And then wherever you want to put your hands. So on the ground for a little more support. Reach up for a bigger challenge. You might reach out. You might explore. If possible, right heel stays down. Press through the back of your left heel and energetically pull your heels towards each other. So you're not just plopping and dumping into it. There's muscle energy. Couple more rounds. Big deep breaths. And then next time you breathe in, wide-legged forward fold. So parallel your feet, adjust your stance. Both legs straight, halfway lift. And fold. About 5 rounds. If you want to explore movement, you're welcome to. Work the pose with your breath. So 2 people can do the exact same practice and have a completely different experience physically, mentally, emotionally. It all depends where you are at. It depends what you're putting into it. Depends how much attention you're paying. And it really just depends on what you need. So I personally enjoy alignment. If you're not an alignment person, you don't want to listen to my cues, that's fine. You can ignore them. For me, it helps me go deeper. For me, the breath is huge. It's a whole nother world. So my invitation for you is just to explore all of that. Next time you inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward. So here's the very funnest part of class. The most fun, funnest, whatever. Walk your hands forward, float your back leg up. So think of warrior 3, but with fingertips on the ground, or if you have a block, bring it under your right hand. Bring your left hand to your sacrum and make sure it feels nice and level there. So a lot of you might need to lower your right hip a little bit. Make your inner thighs face towards each other. Hips are square. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left hip. Roll that skin out, push it back. And as you do that, your upper body will start to twist to the left. Squeeze your inner thighs. Eventually, left arm to the sky, maybe gaze up at your left fingers. Back leg stays strong. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through your inner thighs. Twist, twist, twist from your center. 2 more rounds. And then here's the crazy part. See if you can stay balanced on your left foot. Rise all the way up to standing staff. And then now twist to the right. So right knee's lifted, left arm forward, right arm back. Left hand can come to the outside of your right thigh. Use that as a little bit of leverage to twist. If you want to go for hand to big toe pose or revolved hand to big toe pose, go for it. 2 more rounds. Use your exhales to twist. And then rather than just coming right out of it, we're meeting in a revolved lunge. So you'll be opening to the left. So nice and easy. Start to reach your right toes back and bring your right hand to the ground. Revolve lunge, left arm to the sky. Squeeze your inner thighs, twist. If you want to add that hamstring stretch, lift your left sit bone up, press the top of your left thigh back, work your left leg to straight. Breathe. Exhale to twist, twist, twist. One last full deep breath. End of your exhale, unwind, plant your hands, step your front foot back to plank. Inhale at the top, exhale lower. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, child's pose, sit back. Breathe into your back body. Soften your face. Unclench your jaw. If you would like to take one last down dog just to stretch the backs of your legs, please do. And then meet up in a seated position. So from our seat, we're going to take either double pigeon fire log, or I'll give you some modifications. So double pigeon, left shin on the bottom, outer right ankle to the inside of your left knee, and then if it looks something like this with your knee way high up, then just sit up tall. If your knee is level with your hip, I like to press my hands into the bottoms of my feet. So I'm pressing my hands into my feet and then my feet back into my hands, and then start to fold with a nice long spine. If these are not going to work for you, keep your left leg straight or bend your left knee with your left foot on the ground. Lift your chest, hands behind you. This is a really nice variation, I think, and you can even kind of windshield wiper your legs. So wherever you've chosen to be, about 5 to 7 deep breaths. Good girl. And Penny might finally relax for Shavasana. And if you're in double pigeon and you're folded forward, see if you can pull your right hip back a little bit towards the back of your mat. Take about 3 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth at any time. And if you are folded forward, slowly start to roll up or unhinge at your hips. And then lean back, everybody, uncross your legs, get on a nice little shakeout. We'll take reverse tabletop in between sides. So feet on the ground, knees bent, feet hips width distance apart, heels underneath your knees, hands behind you, fingers face in towards your hips. If you want to face them outer back, that's fine. It will just be a little more on your shoulders, less on your wrists. So press into your thumbs and your index fingers, roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest up. Imagine you're trying to push the bottom tips of your shoulder blades through to the front of your heart. Stay here, or without letting your shoulders roll forward, press into your hands and your feet, lift your hips up. Try not to let your head just collapse back. Keep a nice neutral neck, or take it back with strength in the sides of your neck. Shoulders do not roll forward. Hug in with your inner thighs. Lift, lift, lift. One more round. Lift and release. And then your variation of pigeon with your left shin on top. So probably the same version on this side, but if it feels a lot tighter, a lot more open, you can take a different variation. And then just big deep breaths. Just use each exhale to soften around it, to allow yourself to just melt into the pose. Take about 3 more deep breaths. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. just gonna kind of leave it up to you. So when you feel pretty even on both sides with this pigeon pose, ease your way back up and take either one more reverse tabletop, or if you want to make it a little harder, you can take a reverse plank this time with your legs extended and your legs zipped together. So it'll be a little more challenging. Take about 3 breaths in your reverse plank or tabletop. Shoulders stay back and down. And then once you've taken Purvottanasana, or your modification thereof, find your way down onto your back, hug your knees in towards your belly, and gently rock from side to side. From here, supine spinal twist of your choice. Legs can go to either side first. Slow, deep breaths down into your belly. And in your next couple of rounds, switch to the other side. You may want to take a moment in between sides to neutralize your spine and your pelvis. So big squeeze of your knees in, little rock, or even a full body stretch. So you can keep your big deep breaths going for just a little bit longer. Feel pretty even on both sides with your twist. No hurry. Come back to the center, find a happy baby pose. And take a few breaths in happy baby. Explore it in whatever way you want. And then if there are any more poses, stretches, movements, anything else that you want to do to complete your own practice for you, then please take a moment to do so. So as you guys move through these finishing poses and eventually find your way into your final relaxation, your Shavasana, I have a little reading to share for you, or share with you. It's by Jeff Foster, of course, and it's called A Minute of Mindfulness. He says, spend a moment feeling your feet on the ground, in this case, your body on the ground. Notice the way it gently presses into the earth. Silently remind yourself, I am here. It is now. Feel the fullness and heaviness of your entire body. The weight of it as it is gently drawn downward into the earth by gravity. Let the body rest, melt, sink, fall into gravity's unconditional embrace. Don't try to control your breathing, so let it go. And just notice its depth, its speed, quality. Notice how the belly rises and falls as it fills with oxygen, empties, and then refills. Feel how deeply rooted the breath is in the present moment. Notice if the breath slows or deepens a little with some gentle attention. Now, begin to notice and allow all bodily sensations in the forehead, the back of the head, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the belly, the chest. If there is any tension, tightness, contraction, or ache, fully allow these sensations. Soften into and around them.
Breathe into them. Allow them to move, to expand, to intensify, to dissolve, or to stay. You are not trying to delete or create sensations. No need to label or judge them either. Just remain curious, just remain present. So I'm going to leave you here for these last few moments. Stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like, just remaining curious and just remaining present, giving yourself these last few moments of class. Thank you so much for practicing with me, you guys. Namaste.